Good morning, children. Last class we have started our first chapter, crop production and management. We have learned about crops, cropping patterns and agricultural practices. Today we are discussing about the topic preparation of soil. Before starting this section, that day I gave one homework for you. Now we can check the answer for the questions. The first question, which of the following is a kharif crop? Paddy. In which of the following patterns are wheat and gram classified? Answer, rabi crops. The same kind of plants grown and cultivated on a large scale at a place is called crops. The time duration for rabi crop is generally from October to March. The crop which is sown in rainy season is called kharif crops. So these are the answer for the questions. Check your answer and correct it. Now we can start our today's section, preparation of soil. So this preparation of soil, the step, it is the first step in the agricultural practices and also very important step. And this step include three activities or three tasks, that are first one, turning and loosening of the soil. Second one, leveling of the soil. And third one, manuring. Okay, so there are three tasks are included in the preparation of soil, that are turning and loosening of the soil, leveling and manuring. So first we can discuss the first activity, that is turning and loosening of the soil. That is the farmers, they will turn and loosen the soil by using certain agricultural tools. When the farmers done these activities, then the root of the plants that can go deep inside the soil and they can breathe easily. Okay, that is the one reason. And also we know that soil which contain different type of living organism like microorganisms or earthworm, that type of living organisms are present in the soil. So when they turn and loosen the soil, that time the growth of these type of or living organism will be encouraged or promoted. Thereby they again turn and loosen the soil by themselves. That is, this earthworm and other microorganism, they further turn and loosen the soil by themselves. That means these organisms are moving around the soil, so it will be again turn and loosen. Therefore these organisms, these earthworm and microbes, all that are known as friend of farmer. And in the class 7 you have already studied that soil have different layer, A horizon, B horizon, C horizon, like that. And we know that only the topper layer or uppermost layer of the soil only promote the growth of the plants. So these turning and loosening of the soil is very important, because when these activities done, that time the uppermost layer which will contain the nutrient rich soil, that means these nutrient rich soil or nutrients and other minerals that are present at the bottom of the soil, when we turn and loosen the soil, that time these nutrients and minerals will come to the uppermost layer, and thereby that plants can be utilizes these nutrient rich soil for their growth. So we can say that the preparation of, that is the turning and loosening of the soil, is very important for growing a crop. So this process, turning and loosening of the soil, that is known as plowing or tilling. And another method, that is leveling, that we know that a soil which containing small type of soil crumbs. So before growing or before sowing a seed into the soil, we have to break all these soil crumbs. So that is the leveling process. So this leveling, that is help uniform irrigation, that is when the soil is uniformly distributed, the water can be supplied equally, or water can be equally or uniformly reached into all the plants. So leveling is done by manually, that is animal driven leveler and tractor driven levelers are now available. So by using these tools, the farmers done the leveling activity, and the leveling also prevent the soil erosion. It is the second task in the preparation of soil. And another third one, that is manuring. Manuring means that for the growth of plants, certain manures and fertilizers are essential. So this before adding or putting seed into the soil, the farmers add certain manure and fertilizers that are mixed with the soil with the help of tractors. Thereby nutrients, all the nutrients that are mixed up with the soil and plant can utilize these manure and fertilizers for their growth. So these are the three tasks in the preparation of soil, that is turning and loosening of the soil, leveling and manuring. Now we can discuss detail about it. Preparation of soil. Preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to breathe easily even they go deep into the soil. Why does the loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily? So preparation of soil is the best and important step. And when farmers done that preparation or loosening and turning, that time the root of the plants can be go deep inside the soil and it can be breathe easily, because the roots that get more spaces in between them, so the air particles will be go through them very easily. The loosened soil helps in the growing of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of farmer, since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. But why the soil needs to be turned and loosened? So that another advantage of turning and loosening, that it will encourage or helps in the growth of earthworms and microorganisms, and these microorganisms again turn and loosen the soil and also add humus to the soil. So thereby these earthworms and other microbes are known as friends of farmer. And what is the need of soil to be turned and loosened? That I already explained, that soil which contain different type of minerals, nutrients, water, air and different type of living organism, and also these dead matter of plants and animals that are buried under the soil, and it take time to decompose by certain microorganisms. After the decomposition, it will be turned into organic matter. So these organic matters are will be under the soil. So when we are turn and loosen the soil, that time these nutrient and minerals rich soil will be come to the topper surface of the soil, and thereby the plants can utilize this nutrient rich soil for their growth. You have learned in the previous classes that the soil contains minerals, water, air and some living organism. In addition, dead plants and animals get decomposed by soil organisms. In this way, various nutrients in the dead organisms are released back into the soil. These nutrients are again absorbed by plants. Since only a few centimeters of the top layer of soil support plant growth, turning and loosening of the soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can utilize or use these nutrients. Thus, turning and loosening of the soil is very important for the cultivation of crop. So it is the reason for that turning and loosening of soil is very important for the cultivation of crop. That is that nutrient rich soil will be come into the topper layer. Only the toppermost surface of the soil support or encourage the growth of the plants. The process of loosening and turning of soil is called tilling or plowing. So please underline this one. What is tilling or plowing? That is the process of turning and loosening of soil is called tilling or plowing, and it is done by using a plow. Plow are made of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before plowing. The plowed field may have big clumps of soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs. Leveling the field is beneficial for sowing as well as for irrigation. Leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. So tilling or plowing means turning and loosening of the soil, and it is done with the help of certain agricultural tools. That is one of that agricultural tool is plow, and this plow that is made up of either wood or iron. And another one that is in preparation of soil, that one method is leveling, that we have to break the soil crumbs. That is, small soil clumps are present, small and big sized one will be present in the soil. So these soil clumps we have to break it. That process is known as leveling, and this leveling will be help for uniform irrigation, and also it prevent the soil erosion. And the leveling is done with the help of a leveler, that may be animal driven leveler or a tractor driven leveler. Then the third method in preparation of soil, that is manuring, that sometimes manure is added to the soil before tilling. This helps in proper mixing of manure with the soil. The soil is moistened before sowing. That another one is manuring. Manuring means adding manure and fertilizers into the soil before putting the seed into the soil. Thereby that soil will be mixed with these nutrients obtained from the manure and the fertilizers, so the plants can get these nutrients from the soil directly. So these are about preparation of soil. The next, agricultural implements. Before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break soil clumps to get better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for these purposes are plow, hoe and cultivator. So that the plow, hoe and cultivator, these are the agricultural tools used for the purposes of tilling and loosening, or tilling or plowing, or turning and loosening the soil, or break the soil clumps. So first we can discuss about the first in tool or implementation, that is plow. This is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crops, removing the weeds and turning the soil. That plow that is used in the ancient time, and this plow is used for removing the weeds and adding manure and fertilizers into the soil, and also turning and loosening the soil. So these are the purposes of or uses of plow. Here tilling and turning the soil and adding fertilizers to the crops, all that you have already know. Then removing the weeds. What is the meaning of weeds? Weeds are nothing but plants, but these are the unwanted plants that are grown along with the crops. That is, you know that in the field certain unwanted plants or unnecessary plants are grown. So the farmers has to remove these weeds or unwanted plants from the field in order to get a clear field, and that is the method of removing weeds. And when these unwanted plants are grown along with the crops, and these plants also, these unwanted weeds also utilizes these nutrients from the soil, so that our crops that will not get proper nutrients and minerals from the soil. So it is important to remove the weeds from the soil before sowing the seeds. Now we can discuss about the structure of plow. The plow that is made of wood. That in the ancient time, the plow that is made up of wood. Now it is the wood is replaced with iron. and it is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals like horses or camels. These type of animals were used for drawn this plow. And the plow that is contained a triangular iron strip, that is the plow which have a part that is a strong triangular part that is known by the name plow-share, and a main part of the plow that is a long log of wood, that a big lengthy beam of wood, that is the main part of the plow, that is known as the name plow shaft. And one handle will be there at one end of the shaft, and other end of this shaft is attached, or other end of the handle is attached to the beam that is placed on the neck of the animals. So one pair of bulls and a man, these three can be easily operate this tool plow. You can see the figure of plow. This is the figure of plow. It is drawn with the help of a pair of bulls and a man. So that you can see that a long beam of wood will be there, and a triangular plowshare, that is a triangular iron strip. So these three parts will be there: a long beam, a plow shaft, and a plow share. So now we can structure it is. This is made of wood and is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals like horses and animals. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called plowshare. The main part of the plow is a long log of wood which is called plow shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on the bull's neck. One pair of bulls and a man can easily operate the plow. So this is about plow. Plow, it is made up of wood and it is drawn with the help of pair of animals, and it contains a strong triangular iron strip that is known as plowshare, and the main part it is a log of wood that is plow shaft, and one handle is attached to the plow shaft and other end is attached to the beam. This beam is placed on the bull's neck. So this is about plow. The indigenous wooden plow is increasingly being replaced by iron plow nowadays. So nowadays it is these wooden plows are replaced by iron plows. Then now the second agricultural tool, that is hoe. It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. So the use of hoe, that is for removing the weeds and also for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends, and it works like a blade. It is pulled by animal also. So this plow also another simple tool. This used for removing weeds and also for loosening the soil. It contains a log of wood or a iron. A strong bent plate of iron is fixed to the one of its end. Then these strong bend plate that will act as a blade. So, and this hoe also pulled with the help of animals. So you can see the figure of hoe. It containing a bend plate. This bend plate will be act like a blade, and you can see the handle, grip, beam and a long rod. These are the parts of the hoe. Then the next one, it is tractor. So these both hoe and plow, these are used in the ancient time, and it take more time and labor for working. And nowadays we are plowing with the help of a tractor driven cultivator. That is modern technologies we are used for plowing, that is with the help of tractor driven cultivators. So cultivator, nowadays plowing is done by tractor driven cultivators. The use of cultivator save labor and time. So this is the figure of tractor. So when we are using this tractor, the laboring time and energy also very less. They are used for the turning and loosening the soil. Otherwise, in the case of plow and hoe, more energy and time will be wasted. Okay, so these are the three tools. These are tools used for turning and loosening of the soil. And so these are today's section. In this section we have discussed the topic preparation of soil. So preparation of soil include three activities, that is turning and loosening of the soil, that is known by the name tilling or plowing. And second one is leveling, that to break the soil clumps or big and small sized clumps that has to be break, so that is leveling. And third one is manuring, that is add manure and fertilizers into the soil with the help of tractor. So these are about preparation of soil. Then we are discuss about the agricultural tools used for this purpose, that are plow, hoe and cultivators. Plow and hoe that are used in ancient time, and it take much time and energy for working, and nowadays the plowing is done with the help of tractor, so energy and labor time become very less. So these are about today's topic. Thank you.